Hey, everybody, this is Mark Blanton by myself today from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism, and I hope everybody's doing well out there. We're doing fine. Unfortunately, we've been having a little bit of rain here in South Africa, and that's so sad because, as you guys know, I love my sunny South Africa and so forth. But there's been a lot going on and so forth here. Obviously, we have a few tours going on. We got actually tourists in town now. Anytime you ask me that, I'm going to say we have a lot of tourists in town because we do. We have people that are going to Durban or are in Durban, I believe, and then we have people that are actually in Johannesburg. So we are still holding up our end of the bargain, and we are being the conduit for those who want to travel properly to South Africa. And of course, you guys know exactly what I mean. Shortly, I'm going to bring on somebody who's actually in Cape Town. She's an American, and her name is Tawani. I'm sure you guys have heard of her, and if you haven't heard of her, you're going to hear about her on this channel. We're just going to have some candid conversations because I saw her over the festive season. We call it festive season here in South Africa, and I didn't realize she came to South Africa in 2018 when we came to South Africa in 2018. So I'm learning a little bit about her as the years go on. She's never forthcoming with information. She should just be sharing these things, but she don't. And I've been knowing her for an extended period of time. So what else are we going to talk about? We just going to, like I said, we're going to have a candid conversation. As you guys know, my family, some of my family members have moved here to Africa after a long journey. And I'm not just talking about the flight. I'm talking about going back and forth, being a tourist here in South Africa, getting to know the culture, getting to know people, just, doing all of that. And it seems like a waste of time, but I think each time they came, they gained a little bit of knowledge about South Africa. And then, hey, at some point, it only made sense to be here. So they just went through the processes that, South Africa has in place. And then voila, they're here in South Africa. Currently, my niece, she'll be here on in a few days. Probably by the time you see this, she probably would have already came here. And of course, we'll chat with her, probably get her on the channel so you guys can meet her. But yeah, she's been going back and forth. I think she's like on her second or third trip to South Africa. I think it's kind of something that's very difficult to ignore and so forth. But yeah, we're doing great here. I know a lot of y'all people are asking us various questions on our email. A lot of questions. Of course, one of the questions is about safety, and I'm going to cover that with Tawani from our perspective because obviously we've been living here for a long time, and we're just going to cover a myriad of topics. That's all I keep saying. So you guys need to stay with this conversation. Make sure you like and of course subscribe to our channel. We are really trying to move forward with this 100K goal. It didn't matter to me, but for some odd reason, I'm like, maybe I need to, push forth the effort. So a lot of you guys are watching, but you guys haven't subscribed. So you might as well go ahead and subscribe because we're going to have a lot of content, and those that's been subscribing with us can tell you straight up, these guys put out a lot of content, and we have a lot of people who come here as tourists, and they like to give their perspective. And I will tell you this, on the insiders review, most of these people had no idea what they was going to run into. No idea, even though we show them videos, and that's kind of like enough for them to say, you know what, let me come. But to have that experience was something completely different. And they always are, very, congratulatory of us to say, thank you for putting something together like this so that we can come experience South Africa properly. So we really do, thank them for leaving their testimonies behind and so forth. And then we love it when they leave. They're like, oh my God, I wish I was still there. And then of course, y'all heard about our repeat offender program. It happens, pretty regularly. So without further ado, I want to bring on our special guest all the way from the country of the Western Cape in the city of what's it called? Cape Town. Here we go. Here we go, guys. This is
Hi, Mark. You know,
hey,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually real good. How you doing?
I heard that shade that you threw at the beginning. I heard you, Mark.
What
I just
shade?
talked to you about stuff. You said I don't tell you things. I tell you in little increments. Mark, I tell you things. You just don't listen.
No, I
Um,
do. I gotta.
Latasha knows my whole life story.
Well, because you tell her, and she never tells me, and then I end up hearing it on the side. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that about Tuan. Oh, I didn't know this, and I didn't know that. So I hear it in the side conversation. So nobody tells me anything directly, or at least that's what I say.
All right. All right. Fair enough.
Cool. So what's going on down there in the wonderful Cape Town?
It's beautiful in Cape Town. The weather is gorgeous. The sun is shining. It's like 7 o'clock and the sun is still fully bright.
Yeah, yeah, that's different than here in Joburg because currently it's raining and I know it's the I guess it stays more daylight in Cape Town
Yeah,
than Joburg.
we get more daylight, which is amazing. I love it. I think that's one of the reasons that I love Cape Town so much because we get lots and lots of sunshine. So the days are long.
Okay, okay. Now a lot of people come on our tour, and then sometimes when they go to Cape Town, we like to send them to like nice places, people. Very nice places, all sorted out. Everything, the transportation, everything is good. And one of the things we like to do to sort things out is for you guys to go to a wine tasting or at least a wine tour, going to a wine farm. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I had never been into a wine farm in the United States anywhere, like nowhere. And I came to South Africa and I'm like, South African wine, they ain't got nothing on Italy, they ain't got nothing on all these other places, but you're there. And so what we generally do is we usually team up with Tawani and then
Yes.
she meets our people. What type of people do we usually have coming through to check out the wine scene?
Oh, the most fabulous people, the most awesome people. But just let me tell you, I love when Mark comes to taste wine and winelands with me because he steps so far out of his comfort zone. Like the last time he came, I had him eating oysters and everything.
Yeah, that's good.
They were
That was
delicious. They were
that
delicious.
was bad.
But like the type of people that come on the wine tours is so crazy because like some of your people don't even drink wine, right? But they
Mhm.
still want to come and they want this wine experience. I even hate calling it a wine tour because it's more of a wine experience. And they
Mhm.
come on the tour and they don't drink wine and they leave having the most amazing time.
Ah,
And so the people are people who just love, like, they love luxury. They love the finer things in life. They just love the slow pace. We take our time. It's not one of those wine tours where you're just like rushing from place to place. We meet the winemaker. Sometimes we do a blending session. They meet the chef who's cooking their food. So it's people who really love and value those type of experiences. It's not your average wine tour. That's what I tell people.
well, it's true because what you see down there, like the places that we go to down there, especially in the Cape Town region of Stellenbosch, Franschhoek, and all the areas. Of course, you know them better than I do. I think. Of course, if you did, you would never tell me. You would tell Tasha, and then that's what. But no, but it's beautiful down there. I mean, people when people use that word, say beautiful. Oh, it just means that the grass is cut and it looks nice. I mean, they put a lot of effort into that area.
No, and you know what? It's not even that they put a lot of effort into it. God put a lot of effort. I mean, like it's just majestic. Like when you drive there, people as soon as we hit like Franschhoek,
Mhm.
as soon as we hit the winelands, and people see the mountains like everywhere, right? You're surrounded by mountains. It's almost like 360 degrees. So that's what makes it so majestic and so beautiful. And then of course the vineyards. There's lots of land with just rolling vineyards and yeah, it's pretty awesome. God really did a great thing when He created South African winelands.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said, we was just there for the festive season, and we truly enjoyed it. I brought some of my family members there, and as soon as we arrived, because we drove all the way from Johannesburg all the way to Cape Town, and I'm trying to tell you guys, it took us 14, 15 hours, broke it up over 2 days. But the last stretch was 9 hours. And when we arrived, my brother-in-law said, "Oh, okay, yeah, this drive was worth it. It was worth it."
Yeah.
And he was tired. He said it was
Yeah,
worth it.
and and you guys had to drive back, right?
And then we had to turn. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I want to do that drive. I haven't done that drive yet, driving from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Now I've driven from George to Cape Town.
Okay.
And then I was part of the SUV challenge, and we drove from George to Port Elizabeth. Like, it was amazing to just see the Eastern Cape. So
Yeah, well, the Eastern Cape is nice anyway. I mean, that's another location that people kind of sleep on. I spent some time in Tisacama, Port Elizabeth before they changed it to Gaherba, the name, and Port Cape St. Francis, all those areas down there. So it's South Africa does have a lot to offer. So is that the reason why tourists come to South Africa, because it has a lot to offer?
oh yeah, I mean, like, Cape Town alone is kind of like LA, where you have the mountains, you have the beach, you have the winelands, you have the city center, um, and then you can just get in your car and you can just drive. Like, people can do the garden route. Like, there's so many things to do in South Africa. So I think that that's why a lot of people come, and then it's not that expensive. So, like, it might be expensive to get here, and it depends on what you like. When I say not that expensive, but it's not that expensive even to love luxury. So, like, if you come here and you have luxury vacation, it's so much cheaper than if you were in the United States and you went on it. That's why I just tell people all the time, like, why are you going to Miami? If I hear another friend, even when my friends tell me, "Oh, I'm going to Miami," I'm like, I want to throw up. For the
Yeah,
same amount of money, literally for the same amount of money that you spend by the time you're done with your hotel, your flight, and your meals, you could have come
yeah,
all the way to Cape Town and then saved a little change.
yeah. And then had some amazing food. But the food is
Hmm.
incredible. I think Cape Town. I mean, I will admit, I think Cape Town. I mean, the Joburg food scene is incredible, but I think the Cape Town food scene is even better. That's
I
just me.
like them. I like them both. I like both food scenes. I think
Yeah,
they're different. Like, Cape Town, you get a lot more coursed out menus, tasting menus.
yeah.
And there's a lot more fish and seafood infused into the menus. And
Hmm.
then in Johannesburg, you get, like, you order entrees, but the food is still well prepared and it's still very good. I like them both. Yeah, I can't wait to come back to Joburg. I like to eat my way through Joburg, just like I eat my way through Cape Town.
Guys, we're gonna keep her out of the country of Johannesburg. This is my area. This is what I do. When I go down there, I'm just a guest. People, I meet people. They say, "Oh, do you know Tawani?" And I'd be like, "What?"
I
So
know.
go
Everywhere
ahead.
I go in Johannesburg, they're like, "Do you know that guy from the real South Africa?"
Yeah, now she's a superstar down there, and it's well known in Cape Town. Well, a lot of us because she's been here since 2018, and like I said, I didn't know that. You said 2018, right? Is when you first came
Yeah,
forward.
well, when I first stepped foot in Cape Town in South Africa in 2016. That's when I
Okay,
first stepped foot. So I came in 2016, loved it. I mean, I literally fell in love with the winelands. And then I came back in 2017 and I spent 2 weeks in the city and 1 week in the winelands. And I fell in love with the city center. Because, like,
okay,
a lot of things people don't realize about Cape Town is a party city. Like, Cape Town is like your Miami. It's like your Ibiza. It's a party town.
hmm,
And I like to party. Well, I'm changing now. Now I'm ready for my
yeah,
grown woman stage in life. But anyway, so, and then I came back in 2018 with the thought that this is a place I want to live and I need to figure it all out.
yeah. It's funny. That's what happened. So I chat with people, and they're like, you know what? I want to come on. I want to just move to South Africa. And I think they're doing themselves a disservice because they need to come get to South Africa, see what it's all about. Unfortunately, yes, we do videos, but we want people to come on tour so then we can actually show you what's available. So, for example, if you go to Cape Town, sometimes we'll have Tawani, manage your trip, making sure everything goes well, and then of course when it comes down to the wine scene, she's there full time, and so it only makes sense to be able to bring something like that to those who maybe had no idea that it was even there or they didn't have any value on it. They didn't think it was important until they get there. And then, like you said, people go on your tours and they're like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah,
Am I
but
right?
you know what? I think you make a good point. It's important to come. So, like every single time that I was coming, I was building community. So, like if they come with you, and I wish that I had somebody though to actually show me around and show me the ropes and say, "Oh, this is what you should do," or "This is what you should do." Like I
Yeah.
made so many mistakes when I first came, when I moved here, right? Like I wasted so much money. But I mean, I still loved it and obviously I survived it. But yeah, when I think about all the money, I was like, oh man, I could have made better decisions in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you take a shortcut, then you got to double all the way back um,
Yeah.
to square one because we've had people on our tours because, like I said, we send people all over the country that have been here before, but they was like, "But I see your content, and we didn't do any of that, so I want to
Hmm.
come to your tour." And then they're like, "Oh my God, I kind of written South Africa off. I came here. I went to the places that I knew based on what I saw on social media or something. And then they're like, okay, well, it was cool, but I'm ready to go back home. If it's done, if South Africa is done properly, you ain't trying to leave.
But even Cape Town, because I know a lot of people, even a lot of your people, because you got them convinced that Joburg is the place to be.
It is. It's
But
nice.
Cape Town, it is. Joburg is nice, but Cape Town is also nice. And Cape Town is a lifestyle. But I think
It
the
is.
problem is when people come to Cape Town, they
Mm-hmm.
immediately think that, and I'm gonna say this, hashtag Cape Town is so white. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I love multi-racial communities. I love diversity, right? But I
Yes.
don't like one of the same thing too much, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
when they come here, they look for spaces that are welcoming to people who look like us,
Yeah.
and they can't find these spaces. And so they just think that there's no spaces. And I've made it my mission to find these spaces that are welcoming, that celebrate us, that we can gather, and we do gather. And then when they come here, they won't feel so isolated because nobody wants to move here and feel like they're in a no African American wants to move here and feel like they're in America and
Yeah.
in middle America.
Yeah. And it's dang, that's cool. I don't think any South Africans picked up on that, but but no,
The red states. We don't want to come here and feel like we're
yeah. And unfortunately, South, especially Cape Town, it needs to be celebrated. And it needs to be seen because, like I
yeah.
said, when we first came here to South Africa, we came to Johannesburg. But then when we came back on our own, we did the same thing you did. We checked it out. We went straight to Cape Town, straight 2 months, staying in Clifton, and we all know what Clifton is. And yeah, it's one of those places that you see in the magazines. It just is. And we still chose to obviously come to South Africa full time, but we chose to come to Johannesburg for various reasons. So, I know there's people on the fence, they think there's only two cities in South Africa when there's really like 15 or 16 major cities. But the only one that everybody talks about is Cape Town and Johannesburg. I've been to most of them, and they're all got their own merits. Like Johannesburg has its merits, Cape Town has its merits, and so you just really got to choose, and that's where these visits come in. So,
And
Tawani made.
Durban has marriage. Like I like Durban. I don't know if I could live
I
in
love
Durban.
some Durban.
I don't have no VIP status in Durban. Like when I go to Durban, nobody knows me. I have to
What?
beg for a reservation. I have to wait
What?
in lines. Like I don't do.
No.
I need to do Durban with you or something because I don't like Durban for that reason. I go to Johannesburg. I know people in Johannesburg. I can get into
Yeah,
restaurants. Cape Town is not a problem. I can walk into any restaurant I want to right now in Cape Town. But
yeah.
like Durban, I don't know anybody in Durban.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, that's my second home. I'm always there. I'll be there in the next couple weeks, next week or so. I'm sure. There's always a reason to go to Durban because I like it because if you're in Joburg, 50 minutes later on a plane flight or airplane flight, yeah, I'm in Durban. 50
It's
minutes.
like Vegas from
Yeah,
LA to Vegas.
yeah, it's nothing. And I'm like, sure, I'm not. Tasha, what you doing? Let's go to Durban, spend a few days. We got the whole city pretty much wired up, and I think that's what helps people when they come with us because we do have all these places pretty much wired up, and a lot of times we could just drop our name as a tourism company, and they're like, oh, the rest of Africa. Oh, okay, let me take care of you. Let me make sure this happens.
Yeah.
they get that VIP treatment. Now I can't put that on their itinerary, but they don't realize that when they booking with us, they're like you are going to get VIP treatment, and then at the end of the tour, people be like, "Man, we got upgraded rooms, we got this, we
Mhm.
got this
They
happened,
were
that."
extra nice to us when we came into the restaurant.
Yeah,
You know what? And I do think that that's the difference, right? Because you have a lot of these people, these new people that are doing their travel programs, right? And then they send
okay,
people to
sure,
the city and they've never been to the city before. Or maybe they went to the city once, right? They came to
yeah,
Cape Town once, now they're like, I'm gonna send people here, right? But like they don't like it's a difference when you come to the real South Africa because everything is so well curated. Like you guys, I'm your partner here, so you know me and I'm an extension of you. So I'm like what you are in Johannesburg. So like when we go on our wine tours, and that's the thing, people are like, oh my God, everybody knows you. Oh my God, you're so famous. Like, everybody knows you. But first of all, they do know me because even when I'm not working, I'm going there and I'm saying hi and I'm checking in
yeah,
on things. And then I'm there every week. So there's a difference. Like, yeah. So, but people are have these travel companies outside of South Africa, and then they plan the travel. And then when the people get here, if something goes wrong, they're just stuck because they don't know anybody. It's so
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, and it's really sad because they don't realize, especially, there's so many other people traveling to South Africa. I think for Americans, especially Black Americans, we think it's like this new place that, ooh, there's this new place to go. But there have been people who've been coming here for 10, 20 years. And so,
Mm-hmm.
the industry itself, the tourism industry itself, is keen to cater to those people. So when they pop up, they like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? But then here you are as this American, and you coming in, and you don't understand any customs, any courtesies. You don't know anything, and you think they're going to like move heaven and earth for you. And then when you find out that they don't, sometimes you're a little bit upset. But
Yeah,
a good,
you real upset. Or when they talk, because like even me, just I've been here for how long? 7 years, however long,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
even me, I'm still getting accustomed to like the business culture and doing things. Like you can't just pick up the phone, like in America, you pick up the phone,
yeah,
you be like, "Hi, do you have my order ready? It's a size whatever, whatever." Here, you have to say, "Hi, how are you?"
yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Talk,
wait for them to respond. You can't just go right into it.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to have a relationship, or at least
Hmm.
build that micro relationship over the phone. If you even try to do what you're saying, and the good part about us, we do have that relationship with pretty much anything that you want to do here in South Africa. Between us going to the travel and Dabas, the big meetings that they have, to the phone calls and the emails that we get, to all the invites to come look at their locations, and then we decide if we want to bring people or not. So when people come with us, like everybody that comes with you, the wine farms that you take them to, you've been there many times,
Hmm.
many times, and the same thing with us. So everywhere we go or we send people, we've been there many, many times, and they know exactly who we are, and it just makes life smooth for those people who travel with
Hmm.
us. Versus, like there's somebody now who's sending me messages saying, "Hey, I'm in country," and I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got other people in country, people who actually, hired us to take them, make sure everything is good to go. I can't break from that, just because you landed at OR Tambo International Airport here in South Africa.
Oh
So
my God. It's been crazy though. I've had two groups of people who called me, supposedly the friends of mine,
mm,
and they booked with another person, and then they get here, their accommodation is not paid for, none of their excursions are paid for, and they're like, oh, I thought about who do I know in Cape Town, and then they call me like I can help them. Like, yeah. I'm like, you should have vetted that better.
but I would say the as Phil Scott would say, them folks, they come here, they have their stuff in order, or at least it looks like it to me. Because I remember, can't remember the name of that hotel. It's right there on the waterfront.
The
It's I
one and
can't.
only
No, the one
Table
beside
Bay.
no, I can't remember the name of it. It's that's not a Marriott. It could be a cap. I can't remember. But the reason I brought it up because I'm there. Me and Tasha's there. We're sorted. I think it was the last time we saw you. We went to the silo, wherever we were staying. Then I can't. Excuse me. We went to the silo and hung out. You and some friends.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that rooftop.
yeah. We always doing stuff,
Yeah,
and
but see, like that, like you can't. Not everybody could get into the silo, but
oh no, no, you know.
yes, but we know.
So we was there and we saw like all these, people from all over Europe and whatever. They down there, their drivers picking them up, taking them to their safaris, taking them to their whatever they was going. And me and Tasha was eating breakfast and we saw this Black American couple. And maybe you can, tell it. But I mean, Black Americans are easy to spot. Would you say?
Oh heck yes, and I love it too. Like Black Americans, we are so cool. Like I love us.
Yeah, we're easy to spot in South Africa. It's like there's some over there, they're going over there, and they're walking around doing their thing, which is cool. So I'm glad they came to South Africa. But like I said, they a lot of times they come unprepared. But this particular scenario, we're sitting there eating breakfast, and we was finishing, and they have like a little travel desk at the hotel, and everybody had their stuff. I mean, people was getting picked up 8, 9 o'clock. People was going. And then this Black couple, American couple, they had to stop at the travel desk, get a map, trying to figure out where they was going, trying to figure out how they're going to get transportation. They spent all that money to fly. They got this decent hotel because it's a nice hotel. And then they still don't know where they're going. And are they going to have the best trip possible? Who knows? But they're they're betting the whole farm on this person who's sitting behind the desk, who's going to tell them where to go, where not to go, or they don't have any rapport with any established tourism operation. So I mean, I kind of feel sorry for them for a little bit, but I said, but that was their choice. They chose not to go with a reputable company.
Or sometimes people save like they save a penny to spend a dollar, however that saying goes. But
Yeah,
I'll give you an example that's wine related to my tour.
sure.
So I took a group of women out and they wanted to do the French hook wine tram, right? And I
Mhm,
don't do the French hook wine tram like normal people do the French hook wine tram. Like you can go to the ticket office, get it in town, and then take it from town, but like, whatever. So I
mhm,
did it in my very 20 sips with soul type way. Long story short, the girls are, it was like 12 women and they're out on the lawn and they're all, it was six of them, I'm sorry, and they're all like savoring their own champagne, their own MCC sparkling wine, right? And
mhm.
so, and then we're like by the tram station, and we get back on the tram, and we get back on the tram with the other people. They said, "How did you do that? We didn't get to do that. How did you get to do that?" And I'm just like, it's the difference when you have a curated experience. You know what I mean? So you could
Yeah,
do the basic, and if you don't know, then you just don't know. But then they saw the better experience and they were just like, how come we didn't get to savor our own wine? And so I think that that just sums it up. You know what I mean? You can have a
yeah,
very basic vacation, but if you want like the extras, then
yeah.
I like you definitely need it curated.
Yes, yes, exactly. I got about 100 of those stories because we just do what we can. We always have people from the establishments that we use. Hey, can we bring them a bottle of wine, put it in their room? You think that'd be okay? Or can we put them in this seating in the hotel? I mean, at the restaurant because we know this is the preferred seating. And I always like the one when we take people to where we take them to the Lion and Safari Park, just in Joburg.
Oh,
Normally when everybody shows up, everybody buys a ticket, and then everybody fills up one of those vehicles that they use. They fill it up, right? And that's it. And you get in and you go around and you have like somebody kind of telling you what's going on. But then they always look over at our people, the people that are with the real South Africa. It could be two people, same size vehicle, with a guide, with snacks,
I love
everything,
it.
and they're in that vehicle by themselves getting the exact same tour. And so we have some of our people saying, hey, I noticed that when we went to on our drive to see the Lions, that it was just us. Why was that? And we're like, well, you traveling with the real South Africa, they know that's our requirement, that you get snacks, you get drinks, you get everything you need. Before you leave, we got two guys that we like, so we use those two guys. Those guys come to work because they know we got people coming, and they have a much much better experience. So it's very similar. So it's always good to have your stuff sorted out before you arrive in the
It
Republic.
is.
It really is. It helps.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this. So the tourism space, as far as like when I say Cape Town, like the amount of people that are coming to Cape Town, what are you seeing as far as just people, and to include Black people from the U.S.?
There's lots of people. Like there are lots and lots of people. Like I think United has a flight that comes in every day. Delta comes in every other
Hmm.
day. And what I saw this past festive season that was really interesting was the young Black people that are coming to town. Like I
Yeah,
mean, I'm talking people in their late 20s, early 30s coming in groups. So that's pretty interesting. But there's all kinds of people from America coming here, and I mean I love to hear it. When I first moved here in 2018 to Cape Town, I would walk down the street and I would never hear an American voice. And now
yeah,
I walk down the street and I'm always hearing an American voice. Like it used to be so like rare that if I heard an American voice, I would stop them and I would talk to them just because it was like, oh, you're American. But now I hear it so much that I'm just like, oh, there's more Americans.
yeah. But I do believe that a lot of people are finding that there's a lot of opportunities once, because once you come a few times, because it's very rare that I can see a person come one time, get a halfway decent experience, or a curated experience, and then don't come back. Most
Yeah.
people come back. They always come back, and they like, oh, I was going to, I had the Caribbean islands scheduled, but I canceled that. I'm coming back to
No,
Cape
they
Town.
had their European trip scheduled and they canceled. I love when that happens. When they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I was going to go to Europe, but I came back to Cape Town or Johannesburg."
yeah, because the thing is, you can't do it all and even if you came for 6 days, 10 days, you really can't do it all. There's just too much. And then with things, they're constantly having, concerts, festivals. I mean, you name it, they're constantly doing something. If you come at the right time, or if you just come probably in the summer months, which is, I would say, I'm going to say from October, November, December, Jan, all the way to Feb.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, March.
Because
Well,
in Feb you have the art fest.
yeah,
January is still the festive season where there's all these outdoor concerts and everything.
yeah,
And then in March you have the Jazz Fest. So
yeah,
like there's pretty much always something. Don't forget, I mean like Cape Town is my heart. There's the wine industry is my heart. If you come
yeah,
January, February, March, you can stomp grapes. Well, you can't stomp grapes by yourself, but if you contact me, I could arrange for you to stomp
yeah.
some grapes.
There's
And yeah,
things happen.
there's
Yeah,
some
they
there's some stuff happening in the winelands and your harvest season is here, so it's in full swing. Like yeah,
okay. Because what I see, and I'm going to say it again. I used to reserve. I used to never admit it, but for the last 2 or 3 years, we had a lot of people say, "You guys are bringing so many people to South Africa. A lot of people are finding their way to South Africa. Why is there so many Americans in Johannesburg? Like, what's going on?" And then they always thank us because they really believe that tourism, and it's true, is helping the economy.
oh,
Um,
100%.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the way that we could, as Americans, I think the trade off is you come have an amazing experience, great service, eat some good food, drink some good wine, have the best sunsets and the best weather. Especially right now, it's freezing in America right now, and the other half is in trouble.
Yeah.
About and but coming here, I mean, you could put all that to the side for a little while and just come here and have a good time. But at the same time, you're contributing to the economy, and I think South Africans like that a lot. Would you say?
I think so too. I mean, I get it all the time. Like, industry professionals, they're like thanking me for like showcasing South African wines and bringing in Americans and
Yeah,
um yeah, with my Sips with Soul tour. Yeah, so I think that Americans' presence is here, and it's good for the people of color that are here too, because we
yeah,
come and we give them inspiration and aspiration. You know what I mean? So like they look at us and they have something to aspire to. I hope that when we come here, we are especially treating the people who work in service
yeah,
super nice. But yeah, so I think that they're really excited, and we're just a good example for what freedom looks like. Honestly, I don't mean to get all emotional and political, But
Yeah,
like, you know, we are really good examples for like, I feel like African Americans are great examples for what you can do outside of bondage, right?
yeah.
And so yeah, we're beautiful, we're smart, we're wealthy. You know, we're doing it.
See, you got political. See, you was
I
trying.
did. I
You,
did. I
you was
did.
doing
I
your
said it.
best.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it though. You know.
Yeah. So like I said, so I always encourage people to come, here to Johannesburg as well, Durban, safari packages. We do a lot of safari packages to Kruger National Park. People come and I mean they're floored because they always are used to seeing the animals in a zoo, and of course the animals
Yeah.
are at, got their little head down. They might roar every once in a while, but when you
I
get them out
haven't
there,
been to Kruger yet. I'm actually scared to go to Kruger.
no, 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 that's my other outside of Durban. If you are looking for me, I'm probably going to be in Kruger. Kruger got some amazing,
Oh, I'm low
yes.
key scared of dogs. So when that lion gets up close,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
they do get up close, but it's
They
okay.
do. Oh no, oh
Yeah,
no.
just don't look them in the eye. No, I'm just playing.
And you know how like they say that animals can smell your fear, like if you're scared, they
Yeah.
can smell it. I'm like, they just gonna smell all of me because I'm gonna be so scared.
No, it's a really good environment. I mean, I like the 5-star lodges. I mean, I like having chefs. I like having amazing drinks.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't been,
I'll be in the spa the whole time.
well, and that's another thing. They got some incredible spas because the clientele that comes out there, that's what they expect. So it's not like for the casual little, hey, I'm just looking for something. No, if you come into Kruger, that means that you're coming to,
For
especially
the
at this.
whole experience,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you need it all. You need turn down service. You need like heated pools. You need animals that you can see while you're eating breakfast. You need the hippopotamuses, in the water while you're standing there with your long drink. And I'm talking about you need it all, and that's what I like. I like going out there because, and then they have light discipline, so the lights are low, and then you can see the stars really good. And I'm telling you, it's just a good environment. And by the time you finish drinking with people, like-minded people, it is 11, 12 o'clock at night. They drop a nice little bonfire for you, so the flames are going. I mean, everything is going. It's kind of like listening to Luther Vandross. Everything is going, and that's what I like. That's my third favorite place. So if you're looking for me, I will be out there. Maybe matter of fact, I'm pretty sure in 2025 we'll get you out to Kruger. They got their little small airport that we can fly into because I usually fly. I've driven too, but
Just don't be
no,
mad. Just don't be mad at me when I do one safari trek and then the other safaris I'll be at the spa.
no, you're gonna do it. I promise you. People who come on our tours that go out there, they're like, first of all, I don't want to go, but I want all the other stuff. And then they get out
Yeah.
there, and then I'm gonna say the peer pressure says, okay, go on one game drive, and then they go on one game drive, and then there's a like it'll be done by 7:38. That's usually it starts about 4:35. Be done by 8. They get dinner. They're feeling good. They're like, wow, that was amazing. They're talking about it like nobody else has ever been on a game drive, but the rest of us have been on like 100, and I've probably at least been on 50. And then there's another one in the morning. It's a sunrise one. So you go out there. So then those same people are like, oh, I want to go on that. It must be amazing. So you go out there, then you get your coffee, and they set you up all for success. And as you're riding and you're getting your African massage because you're
Oh
shaking
no.
the thing, and then all of a sudden the sun is coming up, and then the animals you start seeing them moving, and you got your coffee. I'm like, man, this is cool. And if you're cold, they always have blankets. Put a little blanket on you. I'm going to my stuff. So
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'll go. Like I said, I'll do at least one of the game drives, but I don't know those animals, man. We'll go. We'll
yeah,
see.
they're your friends. You've seen Lion King, right?
Yeah, I've seen exactly, and that's
It's
why
like that.
I want to
It's
see my lions on a big screen, and that's it.
like you silly. But anyway, it's an amazing experience and so forth. So as far as we get a lot of people to ask us the simple question, and I'm gonna give you my answer. Then I'm gonna ask the question. I will say that the Western media does an amazing job on portraying South Africa. They constantly over all my years have showed it in a bad light. In all my
Yep.
years,
Yep.
they've always showed it in a bad light. They do such a good job that I know Black Americans believe all of it. That's for sure. And then so in some cases, I think even proper South Africans here in South Africa believe most of the stuff that comes across, um,
Hmm.
that comes across, And I'm not gonna be like, oh, there's no crime here in South Africa. It doesn't happen. Like, what are you talking about? And the true answer is, if you come on a 10-day tour, you come for 10 days. I don't know what the math how the math plays out, but the chances of something happening to you, especially if you're on one of our tours, we're talking about decimal points, way to the right or to the left, but
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that
mean,
means,
you,
talk
yeah,
to me.
I mean, I always tell people to like, listen, they say South Africa is dangerous, but there's more of a chance that you would get shot in a grocery store in the United States than you would
Yeah.
something
Mhm.
happen to you in South Africa. I mean, and it's sad. I hate that that's a fact, but South Africa, its major cities are no more dangerous than any major city around the world. Paris, I felt unsafe when I was in Paris by
Mhm.
myself. But in Cape Town, I will walk the streets at night. And I know I shouldn't do it because no matter where you are, you should be a little bit more concerned about safety. But I
Yeah.
have done it a lot of times when I lived in the city center. I would just walk home from a club at night at 2 in the morning. And I'm still here. So I think you have to have the awareness that you would have in any major city. And you can't to just be unaware. But I think the worst thing that could happen to you in Cape Town, the very worst thing, is somebody could steal your cell phone. And that's preventable, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's probably, I mean, if you just go to like the major parts, if you're not doing something shady and going into like the deep dark backwoods in the hood or anything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I find sometime, and it makes sense a little bit, I guess. But like, if you let's say you showed up in Johannesburg, and you're like, I don't know where to go, and you talking to your and a lot of people do it. They talk to their Uber driver, and most of the Uber drivers are not from South Africa. The majority of them, they're usually from somewhere else, another nation. Let's just say that. And so what they see every day, as far as like where they go and where they party, might not be where you want to go and where you want to party, but that's all they know. So you ask them and you say, well, where do you need to go? Where you want to go? And then they mention some place you never heard of, but you're like, hey, I'm in South Africa. If I'm black, I feel comfortable because I see all these black people, because you should. And then you end up going with these people, going or meeting at some location, and I mean, chances
Yeah.
are, something could happen in those
But that's
scenarios.
But that's why I always say too, that's the benefit of having a curated travel program. So like
Yeah,
even if you like to live on the edge, I like to live on the edge when I go to new cities. If I go to a city that's very white, I'm like, show me where our people are, right? Because that's
exactly.
who I am. I want to find our people. So if you're in South Africa and you have a curated trip, like if they visit you or they visit me, like I went to Rands with customers a couple weeks ago. Rands
Hmm.
is in Kailicha, and if somebody said, "Oh, go to Kailicha," you'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so dangerous! It's in the township. It's
Hmm.
dangerous, right?" And it can be dangerous, but it's not all dangerous. There's actually a middle class. There's a working class there. There's a community
Exactly.
there. There's entrepreneurs there. But if you just went randomly by yourself, you might end up in the wrong part of the town. But if
Yeah.
you come with a curated experience, then you go with somebody. I've been to Rands before by myself. I know the owners, I know the manager. You know what I mean? I know people in the community. So if something went down, I could call somebody. But that's the difference between a curated trip and coming by yourself and being like, I'm gonna figure it out. And the Uber driver is now your travel curator. Really? I
Yeah,
mean,
and
and I
yeah,
don't mean I don't mean to say it like this. Are the person who's waiting the table is your travel curator now? And I don't mean to say it like this at all, right? But you're asking people who don't have the income to do the things that you want to do, how you want to do it, right? So like
Exactly.
they're not going to have that experience. Um, yeah, so I think that that's probably why your business is so successful too, is because when people visit South Africa, they not only do you know South Africa, you also come from the same place as them, so you kind of
Yeah.
have their expectations, right? So
Correct.
it just works out together. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you should just go like, if you don't know anybody, you should just probably hire a professional. That's how I am.
Yeah, because that's how I travel now. I've been traveling that way for years before I got here. If I go somewhere, I'm not just popping in at a Holiday Inn with 8 people in the room talking about we ready to party or go
Hmm.
find some. I'm finished that, and there's a lot of people in our age range that are looking for proper stuff. They want to put on some nice clothes and go have a nice 5-star experience. And I'm tell you what I noticed here in Joburg, people don't want to believe it, but most of the places that I go where there's 5-star scenarios, mostly are Black South Africans are there. They're all entrepreneurs. They're doing whatever they're doing, or they're working for the government. But when I
Yeah,
go to these,
that's what I love about Johannesburg, though. I love
yeah,
that about Johannesburg.
yeah, and it's good. It's good to feel it, and it's good to see it.
Hmm.
Especially if you're coming from America, when you are the top person maybe in your environment, but you're like the only black, or maybe there's like 2 black people and everybody else is not, and you're like, dang, you gotta temper your expectation. Let's just say that. But you can come here and you are looking around a whole sea of people, and they're all black, and you can relax, and they can relate to you because you guys are having similar conversations. You're like, wow, this is better than Atlanta. I thought
Yeah,
Atlanta had it going
it's
on.
better. And then you have a whole international experience. And now you have friends in another country, like if
Hmm.
you're cool like that, if you can make friends like that. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some of us can. Some of us are just,
Yeah.
downtrodden, such as myself.
Stop.
Cool, 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 cool,
Yeah,
cool.
but I mean, bottom line is I love Cape Town and Johannesburg. I mean, and
Mhm.
I love Durban too, but I do have my heart belongs to Cape Town. My soul
Fair enough.
belongs to Cape Town. Cape Town. My heart is Johannesburg. Like, yeah.
So, what would you? Okay, here you are. You got this because, like I said, we ultimately moved here. And what do you think would be like your very first step when you say, you know what, I'm looking for something different in life. I've done all the Atlantas and the Dallases and the DCs, and I've done all of that. And it doesn't mean you have to do all those things in that order, but I've done a few things in life. But I'm looking for something special. How can South Africa slot in that space, and how can they get it?
Oh, I mean, I think first of all, maybe they just start off by taking a real estate tour. Come
No,
to
no, no.
South Africa. Maybe come to South Africa. I would say come to South Africa. Come a couple days early. Tell Mark when you book your real estate tour, you want Cape Town a couple days early. Spend a
Yeah,
couple
sure.
days in Cape Town with me, wine tasting, and then I'm gonna tell Mark to upgrade his package. So maybe you could do like a meet me in Cape Town package where I could just kind of show you the city, the nightlife. Anyway, and then go on the real estate tour in
Mhm.
Johannesburg or Durban and look for a house and then just buy a house, because I feel like the cool thing about it is if you buy a house in either place, Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, it's so easy to get from one city to the next, right? So like
Yeah,
if you bought a house in Johannesburg, you can be like, I'm going to Cape Town for the weekends mostly, like you spend your
yeah.
weekend in Cape Town or Durban and vice versa. So that's what I love about South Africa too. But I would just say book a trip first. Like just do it. Like book a trip, come, check it out, like meet us. Like, and the thing about it is when your people come, you were asking me earlier when we were talking, like, oh no, what are your people like, right? I
Yeah,
love it because Americans always have so many questions. Like they
yeah,
just have so many questions about my life in Cape Town. Like, what do I do? Do I have friends? They always want
yeah.
to know about my dating life, which is it's taking a turn for a very interesting turn right now. But like,
Okay.
yeah, but they always have so many questions, and so I feel like, yeah,
Hmm.
and that's the difference too. So like, if they book with another tour company, one of these XYZ tour companies, they're going to get a tour guide that they can't relate to. They're going to get a tour company that has no, they just want your money. They just want you to come and,
Yeah.
you go and they don't really care about your 100% true experience. But I feel like you're like me and I'm like you. Like, I really care about how people feel about South Africa when they leave. Like, I really
Yeah, it
want them to
matters.
feel so warm and fuzzy inside. So I love sharing my experience. I love sharing my experience of like how I live here. Sometimes I even have parties at my house where I invite like tourists over. I invited you guys. You guys were too busy though. Where I
Yeah, I'm
just
sorry.
invite like my local friends over, and then a couple tourists that I meet, and then we share a meal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I look at it from a perspective of this, and it's going to be a little bit more political, I think. I don't know. Let's see. That I feel like me. I came here, I saw, I'm like, this is incredible. I know there's a lot of people that look like us that need a break. They need to see something different. They need an off ramp to what they're used to or what they're used to seeing every day. And I was that person as well. And I came here and I'm like, wow. And then at the end of the day, I keep thinking about, I'm watching the news and stuff, and they keep talking about tourism, bringing more people to these provinces, and obviously the impact is going to have on the country. And I like the country. I think the country has done doing some amazing things, and they're going to be doing a lot more. It's just happening. And I think some of us, not all, if they could come and see it themselves, because I think anyone that had come here would just be like, wow, I didn't realize this. And then they'll start trying to make their way back. And then at some point, even if you just purchased a home, I mean, you adding major, I mean, that's a major investment anywhere in the world, buying a
Yeah.
home, or you just coming
Or
here, huh?
open a business. Like, there's so many opportunities. That's the thing that annoys me. Like Bree Street, Main Street, Food Street, there's so many opportunities for business. And Europeans come over with their small change and they open up a business.
Yeah,
And that we should be doing the same. And and the benefit is when we do the same, we know we're gonna employ. I hope that we employ people who look like us and we pay them fairly, and we
yeah,
help them create a platform for economic freedom, right? Because let's be honest, the freedom is not really economic these days. But
yeah,
anyway, we won't go into that. But like, there's opportunities. There's so many opportunities. So yeah,
yeah.
that's it. So we
But
do
I
think
think,
alike. We think the same way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we come from the same, generation. Let's just go ahead and go with that. And if they can if people can come, they can get an opportunity, and the opportunity is meeting with South Africans, getting to know South Africans, all of that. But you're not going to get that sitting in the United States. It's never going to happen. You can call me all you want and talk about what your plans are and what you want to do, and I get it, because I'm not gonna say I did it. I just came and then I saw it, and
Yeah.
then and I had a few mostly South Africans, but a few Americans that have been here 20 plus years that said, "Hey, Mark, I think you wanted something," but I think you have to come. But I think it really just starts with that first trip, and anybody who got any type of brain will be like, "Holy crap, I
Yeah.
could, we could do well over here. I just
Yeah.
got to get here," and then not just say, I'm just going to pop in the next day. You got to kind of like
Plan.
build yourself up a little bit. For me, I don't know about you, Tawani, but for me, it was mostly, there was somebody who sent me a message talking about, do you have any South African friends? And I'm laughing because I'm like, I got mostly South African friends, like majority of them. I have some Americans that I parlay with, but and of course my family's here, and some of my family members are here now, but mostly South Africans. I learned so much about South Africa because trust me, they have a history and a future that I wasn't here back in 1980 something or 1994. You wasn't here, we wasn't here, so we got a lot of catching up to do. So there's a lot of things we don't know. But the 50 something year olds that are here, they was here front row,
I
front.
and I love listening to their stories. I think one of the
Yeah.
things, it's gonna be so long. I feel like me and you could talk forever. But I'm just gonna
Mhm.
say this. Like, one of the things that I talked to an American person who was in America, and she was looking at my Instagram, and she was like, "Oh my God, it looks so amazing. Looks like you're really enjoying life over there." No, you know where I was? This was when I traveled to Italy. When I
Mhm.
went to Switzerland, I went to Italy, and I met these two black women in Italy. And I
Mhm.
told them I lived in South Africa. One of them was so cool. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come one day. It seems so awesome." And then the other one was like, "Oh, that seems cool, but I would never go because I just can't get over the history." That's what she said, that she just couldn't get over the history. And I was just like, history is history. Like, this is the
Yeah.
current day,
Hey,
and we have to worry about the future. You know, what would you think about America and its history and its current state, too? But yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, I think we do need to get over ourselves
Yeah.
a little bit. We don't have to take a boat going backwards. There's a perfectly good airplane that is a very
Yes.
nice. They feed you, they even show you movies, and you can actually get here and then hit the ground, properly, and whatnot. And if you do, like I said, I can't think of anybody that's came on our tours over the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years, that has fell short of glory. And they all,
Mhm.
yeah. Matter of fact, we got a couple that was on our second real estate tour. They just arrived January 1st. They're here full time now. They got their visas, they got everything lined up, and we've been so busy we hadn't a chance to see them yet. But we're gonna check them out. We had a brother who came on the same real estate tour that moved here in December, and then we got a guy from the from the second real estate tour. He's coming in February because he's getting his closing on his house, make sure everything is good here. So people are coming, but they're coming proper, And I keep saying they came with us. They understood because I will have a conversation with you if we need to have a conversation about what they need to do. But the funny part about it is once they came, I could have had that same conversation with them on the phone. They never come here. They'll be like, "Well, that ain't how we do it in Philly. That ain't how we do it in Charlotte. That ain't how we do it in Atlanta. Let me tell you how. Once they got past all of that, it
Mhm.
was an easy conversation. And
Yep.
like this brother, he brought his wife, and I think He's retired from the military, and he brought his wife, and they are here. And I'm very happy for him. I'm super happy for him. They don't even know because I haven't spoke to him yet. I just hit him on WhatsApp, but it's happening for people. But you can't skip it. You gotta get to know the country, and then you have a
Yep.
good experience because I found out, and you can add to this story, and I didn't even mean to go this far. Um, People who don't know South Africa, they come here in like cold turkey. I think they have a hard time. Would you say?
Oh, 100%. 100%. They feel disconnected, and then
Yeah,
they struggle. They just can't find their footing. And so that's why I was saying it's best to come with an established tour company
yeah,
that knows the country, knows the culture, and knows people where they can kind of connect you.
yeah.
So I think people who just come here cold turkey, they leave, they feel lost. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, they end up having and I'm just going to say it, they have a lot of things to say bad about South Africa. Oh, South Africans should have did this. It should be like this because in America, because that's the only point of reference that they know. They start
Yeah,
saying,
not
"Oh,
the line because in America we do
yeah,
this.
yeah, that's America. If that was America, you should have stayed there and did your American thing, and then just come as a tourist and tour, and then
Yep.
get to know the area, and then when you're ready, and you got your ducks in a line. I'm not saying just money. I mean just the
It's
you
not
feel
just the money, it's the community. It's like, how do you build a community? And I think that that's the biggest thing when you move to a new country, right? And like, if you come and you start off like with the head start and you start building that community, then it just makes it easier.
yeah, much easier. And so
Yeah.
then you're not on YouTube talking about all the problems that you're having and trying to find a way to say, well, because in South Africa. No, South Africa is a fully fledged uh
Yeah. It's
community,
not
a
it's not the
country.
country, it's you.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say that. I really wasn't. I wasn't gonna say that.
I said it. I said it. Wait, I got to get off this. We've been on the call for an hour. It's getting dark.
Oh,
I'm
okay, yeah.
losing my light. Let me just show you. Let me just show the viewers my view. This is my apartment. It's a very
Okay.
industrial city beach view. That's what I'll call it. But like,
Okay.
that's the view.
So now we're in the same time. We're in the same time zone. Currently, where I'm at, it's pitch dark. It's pitch black right now here in Johannesburg. It's 8:10,
It's
and
8:10.
it's 8:10 where you are and where I'm at. But it's
Yeah,
dark where I am. I mean, if I showed you, it's pitch black, and where you are, it is still daylight. That's incredible.
daylight. It is so beautiful. And last night the moon was rising and it was so beautiful. Like, yeah. But this is Cape Town. Yes, this is home.
Now I think it was a full moon last night. I'm not sure.
It was a full moon last
Yeah, 'cause
night.
I was
And
outside looking at it.
it was this one point where it was like coming over the mountains and it looked like the moon was wearing sunglasses. It was so
Uh-huh.
beautiful. But yeah, this is Cape Town for you.
So I would say, and we're going to cut it off here, but I would say the lifestyles that most of us choose or want to live in the United States, you can live those lifestyles here in South Africa. Would you agree?
100%. And you know what? You don't have to stress out as much. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
I lived in the States, I was working a corporate job. I was a director. I was an accounting director. And then I had my small business on the side. I was hustling,
Yeah.
just to live the lifestyle that I wanted to live. Now I have my small business. There's some things I don't take jobs. I'm like, nah, I don't have to do that. I'm cool.
Yeah. And then you live in a pretty good lifestyle. So
Yeah, and I live a pretty good lifestyle. So yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of how it is for us. And so people keep asking me, how long y'all gonna be there? When y'all coming back to the States? I'm like, I don't want that lifestyle. I had it, and now I'm here, and it works. So that's really all I can say. Is there anything else you want to add before we get off besides the your
Oh,
wine that you have?
yes. I just want to just tell everybody about my 20 rosé. I'm
Go
trying to
for
step
it.
outside into the light because my ring like, there's my 20 rosé.
Okay, okay.
Yes. And it's made by black winemaker Greg Siebritz from French Hook, 100% Merlot rosé.
And
Yay.
does it taste good?
Oh my gosh, it tastes amazing. Like I've gotten nothing but great reviews about this rosé. Even like this very famous wine critic in Bordeaux. I took a bottle with me to Bordeaux and she loved it. She drank it all night. So it is a very, very good rosé.
Hmm. I tell you, I tell you what, people, you guys can send a message to her on her socials,
Yes.
and
And
and, and
no.
especially if you're in Cape Town, and if you want to get a couple bottles, you want to get a case, and you can buy it, and then you can fly it back to Joburg for sure,
Yes.
uh, and whatnot. And then of course it's going to be expanding out there, of course, because we want people to get it. And if wherever you buy wine, especially here in South Africa, tell them about that Tawani. Tell them.
Tell them you want the 20 rosé. Be like, you don't have the 20 rosé. What's wrong with you? Get the
Hey,
20
hey,
rosé.
hey,
Yes.
hey, y'all janky over there.
All
Y'all
right, well,
janky.
Mark, I got to go. It's cold
Absolutely.
outside. I'm trying to stand
Oh,
outside so I can get
yeah,
some light.
that's Cape Town for you.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's cold. Yes.
Yeah, sorry to hear. We're nice and warm in Johannesburg. All right, Tamani, we really appreciate you being here, and hopefully we get a chance to chat with you again. And then, of course, we will see you down there in
In
Kruger
Cape
National
Town.
Park.
Oh,
No,
Kruger. Yes. Kruger.
Kruger,
Yes.
baby. Kruger. All right, girl. Listen to that.
Can't wait. Bye, Mark. Bye,
All right,
everybody. Can't wait to see you in Cape Town.
absolutely. All right, guys, what do you think about that? This was a pretty good representation of what we're doing here in South Africa. Like I said, we extend the invitation to everyone to visit our websites and therealsouthafrica.com. I think you guys saw that somewhere creeping around on one of these banners here at the bottom. But yeah, visit our website, and like I said, you can schedule a quick phone call with us as well if you're just like, I'm not really sure, which place to go to, what to do. I know Tawani advocated for Cape Town. I'm advocating for Johannesburg and Cape Town. We got packages that take you to Johannesburg and Cape Town. We got packages that take you to Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban. We got packages that take you pretty much all over the country. to include Kruger National. We even got Zimbabwe on there as well, where we take you to where we take you to. We take you to Victoria Falls. So we got a lot going on, and we want you guys to be part of it. Now it's us open up for us Americans to come and enjoy yourself, and then also too, I'm gonna do a video on the remote workers visa that South Africa is currently offering, and I think a lot of us can take advantage of that, and I think we should, um, just to come see the country and to be able to say, okay, I can work remotely. So for those who are working a remote job, and those that are, how can I say it, making it on that work on that remote job, making over $38,000. I think it's a little less, actually about 35, 36,000 on that remote job. You can actually come to South Africa with a 3-year visa, and of course, your family could come on that visa as well. And you might say, $38,000, that's no money. That's 650 something thousand rands here in South Africa. And you can live okay. You can live pretty well off of 650,000 rands here in the Republic of South Africa. But if you make more money, then you got more problems. It is what it is. So all I can say, guys, is that we will see you here in sunny South Africa. Hey everybody, this is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
and we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
All right, guys, the real estate tour for 2025, it has been set. We're going to Durban. Durban is amazing, as you can see. A lot of coastal villages, a lot of coastal property that you're going to be able to see right there on the Indian Ocean. We're going to be having a lot of events while you guys are there. Just like the 2024 trip, they were surprised of how organized and how well it was, and that they had access to property, and you're going to be able to have access to property as well. So if you ever thought about having property in sunny South Africa, this is your chance. I would say book this trip immediately, come through. Of course, we have payment plans and so forth. And of course, we have a lot of content on our YouTube channel talking about what they did in 2024 and in 2023 and in 2022. So I would say, for you guys that are interested, come to sunny South Africa Real Estate Tour. All right, guys, this is Mark Edward Blanton from the Real South Africa. And guess what? Our visa services is back. We're going to be helping you guys with visas, because we all know that it can be problematic to get a visa here in the Republic of South Africa. So what we have done, we partnered with a big company that will assist us, and we've checked them out. We recommend that their services are very, very proper. Of course, we go with proper here in the Republic of South Africa, and they can assist you. So if you have questions about, do I qualify for a visa, then that's when we have our consult. You get a consult with these guys. They will literally go through everything with you. And my expectations is for you to ask all the questions that you need to ask, so you will know exactly which way to proceed. So they work in every arena of immigrations. So it would definitely help us who are looking to migrate to the Republic of South Africa. And all I can say is first, come on a trip, of course. And once you come on a trip, then you will be motivated to do all the work that needs to happen for you guys to come to South Africa properly. So all I can say is this is a great team. This is a great situation. All I can say is, again, reach out to us at outreach@therealsouthafrica.com. We will respond to you, and then you'll get an email, and then the process has began. Okay, so we will see you guys here properly in sunny South Africa.
South Africa has partnered with the firm to give you more options for payment. Please visit our website to find out more.
Do yourself a favor. Come to South Africa. Come to the Kruger and enjoy what is meant for you to enjoy. Look at this environment. Can't you see yourself enjoying yourself right here with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism? Well, we can make it possible, and we can do this for you today. Go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and book, and you'll be part of something like this, something very special, something you can tell your friends and families that you did. And yes, this is Africa. This is the Africa that they do not want you to see, but we're going to show it to you, and we're going to make it available. And yes, we've been there ourselves, and we feel that this is the best experience that you can actually have here in the Republic of South Africa. So come here on safari with us. And of course, visit our website, therealsouthafrica.com. All right, guys, welcome to the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We are a travel company based in Johannesburg. However, we can get you to Durban because look at what you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Can't you imagine yourself just hanging out here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? I'm trying to tell you, you're probably not going to want to leave like a lot of our guests from the past. However, all you have to do to come here is reach out to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you can come and enjoy and see what South Africa is really about. There's so much here, so much to do between the beaches, between the culture, between the food and everything else. And of course, the people here in South Africa in this place called Durban. We will see you here in sunny South Africa. It is time for a vacation, and where else would you want to go? Look at South Africa as one of the premier destinations in the world. We have Cape Town, we have Johannesburg, and of course we have Durban, and of course some of the best attractions in the world. We offer 5-star experiences here in South Africa, and of course the cultural side of South Africa as well. Contact us now here at The Real South Africa.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.